On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I'm Madison Reyes.
And here we are.
Here we are, back together, live action, baby.
Live in the same room at the same time.
Oh,
we love it.
I am so excited to be here more than ever because last week was chaotic.
Oh my God, you guys. We apologize. We know it was choppy. It was gritty. It was a real raw episode.
It was a nightmare, actually.
Recording it, I can't even tell you guys. Anything that could go wrong while we were recording went wrong. From internet outages. I don't know how people have, like, you know how some people do like bi-coastal podcasts and the hosts live in different states or whatever. Never in my fucking life, Madison.
No, never. Literally anything that could go wrong went wrong. Like you said, power outages, internet outages, cords not working and fitting. I mean,
Computers dying.
Oh my God. At one point I had to crawl out of the room to the next room because I was sitting like cross-legged, like crisscross applesauce. My feet fell asleep.
She didn't tell me either because I think you were probably like, he's gonna lose it if there's another thing.
You were on the verge because a 1 hour episode took 4.5 hours.
Oh, we started probably around 6 o'clock, which is our normal vibe. We get together around 6, usually start recording around 7, and we're usually done by like 9:30. Mm-hmm. That was like a 6 to 11 situation.
Halfway through, I'm like talking to Spencer, and I know this happened on your side too, but I'm like talking, looking at you, it's going well, and then you are like, yeah.
Slow motion, yeah.
And I'm like, what?
The same thing was happening to me, and I was just not having it. I was so over it. So thank God Madison didn't end up getting COVID. Your husband's negative now. I found out a few days later that my whole family started getting positive for COVID, who I was with that one day in Palm Springs. And for some godforsaken reason, I have not gotten it yet. I have had so many situations now where I have been with people while they got sick and not gotten COVID yet.
I know.
Knock on fucking wood.
Knock on wood, and whatever you have kind of wore off on me because I avoided it, being in the same house as someone.
Yeah, it was just crystals and manifestation and
Yeah, well, you can't knock that because you like the manifestation.
I don't believe in anything anymore. We're going through it.
Oh, no, he's sad today, guys.
I'm sad today, but now I'm happy because we're recording. It was just quite the week. We've already gotten an early Christmas gift from the Geoffs, the Spotify Wrapped. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me, you guys?
Look at all of these minutes and hours and seconds we spent together this year.
You know what? It has officially made me want to cross over to Spotify.
She's leaving Tidal behind. You heard it here.
I'm leaving it behind.
Thank God. We keep getting emails from Tidal. Is that you?
We get emails from fucking weird,
right?
Weird things that I know that one of you fucking Geoffs probably signed us up for.
Multiple of you. Oh my God, I didn't even tell you this. On TikTok, every once in a while, I'll go look at Obituary, and there's this makeup company that has a makeup eyeliner or something called Obituary.
Oh, cool.
And
they're suing us.
Yeah, and we are in a lawsuit. No, but they posted this TikTok because someone had commented, one of you guys, which totally appreciate you having our back, but they wrote, give credit where credit is due at Obituary Podcast. And then she made a whole TikTok, and she has like hundreds of thousands of followers.
No way.
These comments irk me, and I get them all the time. And I don't really care that we have the same name as the podcast. And a lot of you guys love the Obituary Podcast. But my eyeliners did come first. My eyeliners were launched and announced almost a full year before that podcast existed in the shade name Obituary for Our Black. Our Blacks have always been called Obituary. I will not give credit to the podcast because they didn't create my name. Get really tired of people just because they don't know my brand and they know something else that's popular. They automatically think that the person they don't know stole from the thing that's more popular, and I didn't. So no, our black eyeliners are called obituary, and they always have been, they always will be, and I don't owe credit to absolutely anybody, but thank you.
Oh, you know what? I love her.
I know. She seemed like cool about it.
Yeah.
I was looking at the comments because I was like, oh God, I hope people don't think we were like, because I saw one that it looked like someone wrote like, oh, you can tell because they tagged the podcast in that comment, they sent people to come say this. And I'm like, never in our lives. Madison and I don't give a fuck about anything. And also, some people were being real smart in the comment, like, well, they couldn't even trademark it if they wanted to. Guess what? Obituary is trademarked and we own the trademark, but only for radio and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, we would never sue anybody.
No, oh my God, no.
And she probably did make it first. It's like a pun. You can't.
Yeah, you
Come
can't.
on.
No. And you know what?
Maybe we'll try her eyeliner now.
I would love to. I think we should fucking join forces.
I know. I want to message her, but I don't know how to do it on TikTok, so I'm going to try and find the...
We don't know how to do fucking anything.
Here we are. We've been on TikTok for like 2 months, and we're already starting problems.
What's the name of the makeup company? Let's shout it out.
Yeah, we'll shout her out. Go buy her obituary eyeliner. What is it? See, this is the problem. I don't know.
Then you lose the space, like you lose where you were.
Oh, okay. It's Hollow Grave Cosmetics.
Cool.
I know.
No, give her love. We don't think that anybody stole anything.
No.
No way.
Please. But I thought that was so funny. What else? Have you ever watched The Truman Show, the movie?
Yes.
Okay, so I hadn't seen it in probably, I don't know, since I was like a kid.
Sad, but cool.
I mean, yeah, I watched it last night for the first time ever really like sitting and watching it all the way through. And I was like, whoa, this is so weird because it's essentially what we do now with social media.
Mm-hmm.
Like we willingly put ourselves on the Truman Show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's bizarre to me. Even just like when people are trying to force him in front of advertisements or whatever, it's like people doing that now with people in Instagram stories and stuff, like casually showing stuff in the background. And I'm like, it's very eerie that kind of became the world that we live in.
Absolutely. I also get like after I saw it, like, okay, you know how sometimes you joke with me and you're like, yeah, your mom paid me to hang out with you, like, kind of thing. And I'm like, oh my God, well, maybe I'm the star of this whole world and people are all watching me. And like, I don't know.
Honey, if your life's the Truman Show, they got a low budget for that season.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like, are you guys watching me? You know what?
What? No, you're not doing that. No,
jerking off. You guys watching me jerk off? That'd be so embarrassing on TV.
You know what I worry about is sometimes I'll have the thought, does everyone know what I'm thinking right now? Is everyone else psychic and they know what I'm thinking right now? And they're just like, okay, wow, that's a really, and for somebody who has intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, do they know my horrible mind right now?
I never thought about that, but now I'm going to start.
Uh-huh.
Because you never know. There are people that are just intuitive and mind readers, allegedly.
Sure.
Like that one guy in Riverside.
Oh, yeah. We need to go give him our money. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
You guys get that? You start looking around. There's like obvious cameras everywhere. Imagine.
I was like, what are you talking about?
There's just like big ass cameras all around the room. You're like,
If someone was watching the TV show of my life, it would be just boring.
Oh my God.
I want to hear about the Casey Anthony documentary that you watched.
Oh my God, I was telling you about it.
Well, you didn't tell me about it. You told me you watched it.
Yeah, Peacock put out this 3-part docuseries on Casey Anthony, which is a case that I've covered on Cult Leader before. It's obviously one of the most famous cases to come out of the 2000s.
I remember where I was in Chicago when they
announced the verdict.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was 4th of July, or like around 4th of July.
Yeah, it's an awful, awful case. I was expecting something different because we're talking, it's been 10 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
She has been silent. She hasn't done interviews. So I was expecting like some big explosive piece of information. They were really pushing hard with the fact that she didn't have creative control over this docuseries. And so I was like, oh, they're going to be getting all the hard hitting questions or whatever. Episode 1, you leave and you're just pissed off because it's essentially her being like, yeah, I mean, I know I lied a lot in the 31 days that Kaylee was missing, but I don't know why I did it. I asked myself the same question. And it's like, okay, I guess none of us know then. I'm not convinced. It's very emotional to watch. By the 3rd episode, you can get how some people would watch that, especially if you don't know everything about the case and you would be like, I don't know if she really did anything. I'll say this. I walked away from it convinced of the fact that if she did not do it, the actual killing herself, she's still guilty for her part in it, which is covering it up, not going to the authorities. But then it would have been her dad, but she never has definitive answers for everything. She basically is just like, my dad abused me. I was conditioned to lie my entire life, and that's why I lied so much during those 31 days or whatever. And like, what?
What did she say the cause of death was then?
She doesn't know.
Oh, okay.
She says.
Got it.
My guess is something went wrong, and somehow, I don't think she did it on purpose. I don't think she purposefully killed her daughter, but I think she negligently did something like gave her some medication or just something went wrong and didn't know what to do, panicked, hid the body, went a month before doing anything. And then I believe she only called 911 because her mom had like called the authorities or whatever. So, but her parents are real weird too. Her dad is creepy. Sorry, he is. He gave a speech at her memorial that they show in the docuseries, and she is watching it, and you hear him give this speech, which is, it's uncomfortable to watch because he says things like, I'll miss that girl's hugs, like the way her sweat smelled sweet when she came inside after playing outside. Yeah, it's kind of like weird, pedophile-ish, uncomfortable, I'll say. Could be innocent and could just be like, I don't know. He gives bad vibes too, but I think that she is just a liar. She's a liar, and there's parts where she's crying and you're like, you have empathy for her while you're watching because you're like, fuck, but it's more like empathy for this situation. And people are like, well, look how emotional she is. Look how much she's crying during this. How can you say that this woman had something to do with her daughter? I'm like, it's an emotional thing. Even if she killed her daughter accidentally and tried to cover it up, she would still have remorse. That's still a very emotional thing, and she probably has a lot of guilt and a lot of bad feelings around how she acted and how she proceeded with things. But it's just the whole situation's sad, but I'm also like, let it rest. And people are also like, stop watching, don't watch that. And so I was scared to even say I was going to watch it because you know how people are. Like, don't support it, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, it's not like a fucking podcast or video where the more views it gets, she's going to make more money. She got paid, I think, $200,000 for it, which really isn't that much because, I mean, taxes cut that in half, right? I'm sure she had somebody negotiate that deal for her. There's more there. It's like, okay, even if she walked away with $70,000, $80,000, it's not life-changing money. It's not going to do a lot for her. And clearly, based on the reception, with most people still being like, no, fuck her.
That's how I feel. I haven't even seen it.
She's not going to come. She's not going to be able to make a comeback or whatever she's hoping for. I also don't like that a few years ago, or maybe longer, she was trying to pitch like a Kardashian-esque reality show, I guess.
Oh, God. Didn't she have an affair with her lawyer or something, too?
She started, it wasn't an affair, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
But she did have a relationship with someone on her defense team, who I believe actually also worked on the O.J. Simpson defense team.
Oh.
It's just the whole situation's very bizarre. I'll never get past those 31 days that Kaylee was missing and she was out there. Because it's like, even if you didn't think she was dead, like the fact that you didn't know where she was, and you're going to still go out and you're still going to get a tattoo and you're still going to, and she says in the docuseries, she's like, if you look closely, I wasn't, in all those pictures of me partying, I wasn't holding alcohol in my hands. And it's like,
who gives a fuck?
You're there.
Yeah.
That's the point. You're there. You're not grilling your dad. Where the fuck is my daughter?
Yeah.
Sorry. You can play the victim narrative for as long as you want. You know, I do believe if she was abused by her father, that's a horrible thing. But it's not.
It's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse.
Yeah. to act the way she did. God, well, I'm voting her the asshole.
She is the asshole. You gonna lead us into some am I the assholes?
I have a listener email.
Let's hear that first. Let's get a little palate cleanser before we get more mad.
Got it. Okay.
Assuming your email won't make us mad.
It's sweet, actually.
It's sweet?
Yes.
Okay, we need that.
We do.
Okay, wait, you guys.
We have to interrupt.
Have you guys heard of this AI time machine thing from MyHeritage that people are doing? It's where you like upload pictures of yourself to see you as famous people in history or something. Well, Madison and I did it before we started recording, and we both just got the pictures of each other. So I have hers in front of me and she has mine. Let's do it one at a time. You show me one and I'll show you one.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to show you Egyptian queen.
Okay. Whose mom is that? No. Wait, I need to see more. No. Oh, no. She's a queen. She's a queen.
She's a queen.
Okay. The prehistoric hunter. One of these is actually pretty cool, but.
What is that?
That one's cool.
That one's cool. Oh.
Who's that? Who is
that? Okay, are you ready for 16th century royalty?
Yes. No. Oh,
That one's not bad.
Big belly. Oh, beautiful.
Why is she holding it?
She's holding her belly. No, keep going. Are you ready to see Roman aristocrat? I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
The Roman aristocrat's cool, Spencer.
Idiots. Okay.
I don't know what that is. It's just legs.
I look battered.
Oh.
Me behind bars?
Oh, that's your inbred.
Oh, yeah, that was when my parents were related.
Here.
Hideous. Are you ready for your 1930s movie star reveal?
Yes. Oh, God. Wrinkles.
Like a felon, kind of.
Oh, my God. I'm going to cry. Okay, keep it going. I look like a criminal.
You do look like kind of like a felon in these ones. I kind of want you to have dark hair again.
Hell no. Okay, keep going. I'm going to go jump off a cliff. Let me see. Let me see. Kill me now. Okay.
Okay, that was 1930s movie star, which was the one I was excited when I saw 1930s movie star. I was like, let's see, but they did you dirty.
Pirate?
Okay. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at pirate. That one we're mad at. Take it off. Don't show it again.
The jaw, honey.
Oh, that new jaw.
Sad.
Me today.
Sad. Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, this is you as a World War II nurse.
Talk about a jaw.
Honey. Jay Leno, who?
Jay Leno called. No. I look like the Hulk.
This one looks like you got lost in the asylum cafeteria.
Oh my God, I look like I drive a train.
Do we have to post these? We'll post
some.
We'll post some.
Only the good ones.
There aren't any good ones.
You as Van Gogh, a Van Gogh portrait.
Wow. It's me as Van Gogh. I look kind of like Van Gogh in that.
You do. That looks like Van Gogh.
Uh-huh. Uh-oh. Where's my ear? These headphones are holding on to nothing. That one's fucked up. I don't like that. I look like a rockabilly redhead.
Oh, wait for the rockabilly because I have punk rocker up next.
Oh, perfect. I have your last one, I think, is 1950s.
Oh, Lord.
So let's see her. There she is. Starlet.
Old woman. Old woman. Demented. Demented.
I really think you would have been signed up for a lobotomy.
Disgusting. No. Burn it. We got to do it with different pictures. Why am I cockeyed in every single one?
Baby, I got news.
Is that how I look?
No.
Okay, wait.
This was not bad.
Jeez. Okay.
Let's see. I look like I'm on American Horror Story, New York City.
Yeah.
Who's that? Me when my filler decides to leave my face.
You.
Rough.
Like a mohawk on top.
Rock and roll, baby.
Oh, this one is my favorite.
Let's see it. Oh, I look like I am gonna steal your woman, but I'm also a woman.
Face tattoos.
I look kind of cool with face tattoos. Just green hair. Ugly. Damn. So, Madison and I just found out we're ugly, which is not making my
Ugly
day any
as
better.
Fuck.
You guys, we look terrible.
In any era.
In our defense, we didn't take good pictures. We just literally took them.
Doesn't matter. That's the truth.
I can't look at the truth.
It's true.
I don't want to see it.
Delete them.
Delete them. Do you know how much money I've spent on this face in the past couple weeks?
To look like that.
Kidding me?
Oh my God.
That made me hot.
Well, you're not. So
Please, coming from you, the cockeyed killer.
Oh God, I look like a little old woman.
All right, back to that email. Please. We need something sweet.
Yes. All right, so this is from a Geoff named Colleen. It says, "Hello, Spencer and Madison. I love you guys and want to share a story with you that I've kept to myself for over 25 years. This may run long. I'd tell it short if I could. And you'll see why. It amazes me who listens to the podcast, is all I'm going to say. Smart people.
Really?
Smart people. Okay, listen to this.
Right after we're laughing for
Yeah.
30 minutes at pictures of ourselves.
I came from a line of creative, scientifically minded people. My grandfather, father, and I were all artists who worked STEM careers. Growing up, I had a very close bond with these men, Carl Lee Sr. and Carl Lee Jr., despite having been born, to everyone's disappointment, a girl and not Carl Lee III. They taught me most of what I know about science, art, and critical thinking. With that, of course, came a heavy dose of skepticism and an upbringing that was entirely devoid of religious or spiritual influence. When I was 8 years old, my father's explanation of the heat death of the universe ushered in my first existential crisis that caused me to crumble into a sobbing puddle on the kitchen floor. He was always trying to share expansive ideas with me, even though I was not always developmentally prepared for them. Getting to the important part of the story. It was a few years later, when I was maybe 12 or 13, that my dad suggested that my mother, sister, and I try a strange experiment with him. He said he had this feeling that he would be able to see what was in our minds if we were able to concentrate hard enough. It sounded crazy, but fun, so we went along with it. First, he tried with my mom. Failure. He tried with my sister. Failure again. Then it was my turn. I laid down and imagined the flame of a candle, but my adolescent mind struggled to keep a single image in focus for more than a minute, and I started thinking about a bright star against a black sky. After a few minutes, my dad made a single guess and said he saw a flame turn to a single point of light.
Wow.
I know. I confirmed, and we never discussed it again or repeated the experiment. 6 years later, my dad was living in a beautiful luxury apartment in a historic building, and I had just moved into my first apartment. Wanting to stay close to him, I rented the dark and damp little garden apartment that had been added to the same building sometime in the 70s and was right below his unit. It was about 2 a.m. I had to work early in the morning, and an after party he was hosting woke me up, as they frequently did. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, sounds like quite a little life you're
I
living over there.
know. Normally, I was irritated when this happened and would do my best to ignore it, but this time I was overcome by a feeling of missing and wanting to see him, so I got dressed and went upstairs. He invited me in and was in an exceptionally sentimental mood. He fixed me a drink and told me, and anyone else who would listen, how much he loved me and was proud of me. I stayed until nearly 5 when the party started winding down. That's a.m. I hugged him, told him I loved him, and went back downstairs to sleep for an hour before work. The next morning at work, I got the news that he had a heart attack shortly after I left the party and was in a coma.
Oh my God.
It came as a terrible shock. He was only 43, slender, active, and by all appearances perfectly healthy. I rushed to the hospital and spent the next 24 hours by his side. We knew it was unlikely he would ever regain consciousness, but you never give up hope until it's over, do you? As I was finally falling asleep with my head on his arm, he coded, and we were rushed out of the room so the doctors could make a resuscitation attempt. In a few minutes, a nurse returned with the news that they got his heart started again, but it was unlikely that he would make it. I felt so powerless to help him, but remembered our experiment all those years ago. I spent the last few moments of my dad's life focused as intensely as I could on the faces of everyone I knew he loved, hoping that somehow he'd see them too, and in a way have a chance to say goodbye. Not more than a few seconds after picturing the last face I could think of, he coded again, and his heart stopped for the last time. Our experiment when I was a child could have been no more than a coincidence, as could have been my impulse to see him that night, or his unexpected outpouring of love and praise. But coincidence or not, visualizing those faces for him in the last moments brought me tremendous comfort in what was the most painful moment of my life. I will always be grateful for having been able to share one last act of love with the man who gave me so much. It is worth noting that on the morning of my dad's heart attack, my grandfather, who I mentioned earlier, woke halfway across the country from a dream about his deceased parents holding my dad in their arms.
Wow.
His first words on waking to my grandmother were, "I think Pete," my father's nickname, "is dying." They got the news about my father's condition a few hours later.
Whoa.
Crazy. And when you hear stories like that and from people that are so science-minded and like fact-driven, you're like, fuck, there's gotta be something else out there for sure.
It's amazing. It gave me chills.
I know.
So sorry for the loss of your father, Colleen. And it sounds like he was incredible. And it sounds like you guys had a really great bond.
Really great bond.
You can't say that for these next people.
Oh, okay.
We're going to get into some assholes. Am I the asshole for banning my sister from my funeral and not wanting her to have updates on my cancer?
Oh, okay.
I, female, have an older estranged sister. By estranged, I mean she moved to the state the rest of our family lives in to decide she hates us and move away from us, but be close enough that it's annoying when she doesn't answer your texts that you're in her town. Anyway, when our brother passed away, she decided not to go back to our home state and to go to the funeral because she was worried about the drama. So instead, in the wee hours of the morning, 2 days after his passing, she made a group chat of the remaining siblings and our mother to tell us how we were awful people and that she's not coming to the funeral. She claimed we never reach out, and honestly, she did bring up some stuff from our childhood that wasn't so great, but it just definitely wasn't the time to hash it out. It was literally just her kicking us while we were down. Then I found out that I have cancer. I had to have a surgery that was life-threatening to remove most of it, so I had to make a power of attorney. I chose my other sister, as she was in charge of everything, for our brother's medical emergencies and his funeral, and she did amazing. The night before my surgery, I wrote my final wishes for my sister if I was to not come out of surgery. Rule number 1, problematic sister is not allowed to attend my funeral. Rule number 2, upon hearing of my death, my siblings and mother were to block her so she could not use my death as a weapon as she did our brother's. And then just basic stuff like if I'm a vegetable, which I don't think is a good term to use, please let me die at home, and no Christianity at my funeral. I'm a pagan. Luckily, I survived my surgery, but I'm still battling cancer, and my rules still stand if I lose this fight. A couple weeks after my surgery, I found out our dad, who still has a good relationship with her, had been giving her updates when I got sick. I had my other sister, power of attorney, tell him that I do not want that. I feel like while I'm sick, I should have the right to make these choices to protect myself and family, but some people have have said that I'm just being cruel and she might want to make peace when I die and she deserves to know how her sister with cancer is. But I don't know. Am I the asshole?
No, I think you absolutely are able to decide that.
Yeah, I mean, it's your business.
It's your business, and it kind of goes back to the death with dignity thing. There's so many things happening that are out of your control. If you can take control of your funeral, at least, and who's invited, I think do it.
Yeah, but also know that it's
a hurtful decision either way.
And it's going to really, not that you care if you're upset with someone, but it's really going to fuck them up.
Mm-hmm.
People voted and they said everyone sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see where people are coming from with that because I feel like it's kind of like tough. It's like we were talking about last week where the guy kicked his mom out to go to hospice or whatever. Mm-hmm. And people were like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But that mom was an asshole, so.
I know. When I listen back sometimes, I get stronger opinions. Like hearing it again for the second time, I have stronger opinions. And that was still a tough one last week. I was like, fuck.
This one says, am I the asshole for leaving my husband's sister out of his obituary? It says, my husband passed away recently and suddenly. He and his sister had a very contentious relationship. I never liked her because she always made everything about her. When their mother had surgery, she told her daughter she needed her after she was released. My sister-in-law came over when she was in the hospital and went home for 4 hours away the day she was released. We had to scramble to make sure that she had everything she needed when none of us could be there. When my mother-in-law eventually passed away, she did not attend the funeral because it was held in a church. In settling her estate, my sister-in-law suggested she get a bigger portion because my husband and I both worked well-paying jobs and didn't need the money. Every few months, my sister-in-law would contact her brother, my husband, for money. Fast forward a few years, and my husband retired from his job, and I had burned out of engineering and was in a different career path with a lower salary range. We had a child in college that he was using some of his retirement money to pay for tuition. He didn't want our son to begin his career thousands of dollars in debt. His health started declining, and on several occasions, I asked if he wanted me to let his sister know. Absolutely not. Don't let her know anything until I'm in the ground, was always his reply. The final straw for him was when his sister asked for money and he told her he had retired and he was paying for our son's college tuition. She then asked how much he received in retirement. He threw his phone down and yelled, I don't have a sister. She thinks I'm just a freaking ATM. So from these conversations, I left her name out of his obituary when he passed. She was pissed. Everyone, including her daughter, understood. No one on his side of the family gave me any grief for it. They told me I was abiding by his wishes. So am I the asshole for leaving my sister-in-law out of my husband's obituary?
No, absolutely not.
I don't think you're the asshole. I do think etiquette-wise, you are supposed to include...
No.
I don't know.
Who fucking cares?
Okay.
She's not the asshole. It sounds like the sister is an asshole.
Yeah, she sounds like she's trying to just abide by her husband's wishes.
Absolutely.
And I don't blame her for it. It's also an emotional time. I mean, that's the other thing about writing obituaries. You're never writing them in a time where you're
clear.
Yeah. It's like always like, okay, I guess I'll do it or whatever. Well, I'm up first this week. You got a side bitch for us?
I sure do. And this obituary was sent in by a Geoff who I think contacted you, maybe?
On Instagram. And I was like, keep an eye out if this comes through.
I did. And it's amazing. And she left her phone number, so we're going to give you a call.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
And her name is Madison. So we love her already.
Meant to be.
She wrote in and said, hi, Spencer and Madison. I never imagined I'd be writing this email. I've emailed you guys before, but never pictured actually having to write a family member's obituary, let alone for my dad while he was still so young.
Ugh, I'm sorry.
I know, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to thank you guys for helping me be brave enough to do this. Oh, gives me chills. My dad was a funny man. He was a smartass his entire life. Probably where I get it from. He was a really special man. He took in my nephew like my nephew was his own son. He loved my 2-year-old son like I've never seen that man love before. I'm really hurting, but I find myself replaying obituary episodes to try to laugh. Without a single doubt, you guys are my superheroes, especially Spencer being so open with his losses and his struggles. Oh.
God, you're going to make us cry.
I know. I'm definitely going to be getting the book Signs that he always recommends, and I'm here to say he talks about it all the time.
I do. I love that book. Signs by Laura Lynn Jackson.
Now, whenever I see yellow daffodils, I think of your mom. I love you guys so much. Life is so short, but you two have definitely helped me not go completely crazy with everything that happened. Much, much, much love. Please don't ever stop creating this safe talk space for those who have lost someone close to them. Anywho, Spencer asked that I send in the obituary that I wrote, so here it is. I know I did my dad justice, and that gives me so much peace. Thank you, wonderful, beautiful humans, again so much. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so this is for Timothy Dale Metz. Timothy Dale Metz, an avid runner, member of TCRR, and gun enthusiast, left us early on the morning of Thursday, November 24th, 2022.
Oh, was that Thanksgiving?
Holy cow.
Oh my God.
Tim entered this world April 2nd of 1973. He may not have been an April Fool's baby, but he was the comedic glue holding his family together.
I love that.
There wasn't much that Tim loved more than an inappropriately timed joke, a whiskey bourbon, his amazing grandson, Aaron, or a comedic sitcom like Letterkenny or MASH, except for his beloved Australian Shepherd, Roxy. He was your typical American dad, reluctant to get a family dog. Little did he know, Roxy would go on to become one of his most loving and loyal friends. Tim was preceded in death by his father, Ronald Dale Metz. He is survived by his loving wife of 18 years, Liz Metz, his daughter, who inherited his twisted sense of humor, Madison Metz, his bonus son, Caden Schwartz, his almost 2-year-old grandson, Aaron Jones, his sister that he affectionately called Moose, Melanie Jameson and her husband, Bill, his older brother, Gene, Deitch, and his wife, Patricia, and their mother, Marion Metz. Tim is also survived by his nephew, Ted Jameson, and his wife, Susan, his niece, Courtney Deitch, and his beloved Roxy, as well as numerous extended family and friends.
Oh, I love that.
Oh.
You got a good feel for what your dad was like in that obituary.
I know, I'm looking at the photos.
So sweet. And the dog, just
Oh.
so sweet.
So sweet.
We love it. And like, honestly, it really, really, like when Madison and I hear things like that, hearing that we were able to be helpful is always just the best compliment.
The best compliment. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking through the family photos, all of it.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Thank you so much for sharing.
We needed that after.
We did.
After
a
that.
palate cleanser for sure.
For sure.
Thank you, Madison. We'll be giving you a call shortly.
Yes.
Now that we're all cleansed and feeling all warm and fuzzy.
Well, I'm going to take us for a spin, baby.
Should we take a break first?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's take a break. And when we come back, I'll tell you something.
All right, tell me.
We'll
Bye.
be right back. Bye. Bye. I'm like taking it seriously. I'm like, okay, bye.
And we're back. I'm ready to hear, Spencer. What has got you spinning?
Oh, my girly. What's in a name?
What?
This week, I'm bringing you a little something known as necronym.
What's that?
Oh, it's the sister to fucking acronym. The name's derived from the Greek words nekros, meaning dead, and onoma, meaning name. But this is not to be confused with the term dead name. A necronym, by definition, is the name of or a reference to a person who has died.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of this, I saw a TikTok recently that was this guy, and he's like, so when are we going to stop counting people who died's birthday? He's like, I heard the other day someone was like, my mom would have been 105. like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No, like,
Well,
who
I
knows?
thought of it when you read the email earlier because it was like Carl and Carl Sr. And I was thinking about that because that would technically be a necronym.
So it's
When you name someone after somebody who's deceased, like a relative.
Got it.
We see this a lot with relatives, like someone's grandfather, John, passed away. And then when John's grandchild has a son of their own, they might use it as a first or middle name as a way of paying tribute to the grandfather.
If I have a kid, I'm going to name it Francis, like my grandma.
Yeah. If I ever had a child, their middle name would be Hot Dog.
Oh,
After hot
that's
dog.
what? That's weird.
We'll get into some famous examples later on. But yeah, I was going to ask if there was anyone in your family that was ever given a necronym. Like, are you named after anyone or?
No, but my husband is Francisco. His dad is Francisco, and his grandma was Francisca.
Okay.
And then my grandma was Frances. Her mom was Frances.
So many Franz.
I know.
What do you even do with all that?
I know.
I think one of the things that I love the most about this show is just getting familiar with customs from different religions and cultures. And I have a few examples of necronyms throughout different countries and religious sects that I wanted to share.
Wow. Okay.
According to languagehumanities.org, in many cultures, the idea of the necronym is also extended to references to the dead. The complex rituals and beliefs surrounding the idea of death and dying sometimes result in intriguing taboos about necronyms in some cultures, and such taboos sometimes frustrate or confuse travelers. While almost any name could technically be considered a necronym, given the fact that names tend to be cyclical in nature, most people use the term specifically to refer to the name of someone who has died recently.
This reminds me of that fucking Am I the Asshole? Remember when the sister named her baby after her sister's husband who just passed?
Without asking permission, which is a huge no-no. In some traditions, it's common to see necronyms reused, like your husband's family. But I thought this was really interesting because it says that in some European nations, if a child dies young, the next child may be given his or her name, sometimes multiple times historically, when death in childhood was very common. So I'm thinking like Victorian days, they're like, oh, we had baby Penelope. Baby Penelope dies of consumption, and then
they have another baby Penelope. That's so morbid to me.
Doesn't that feel very morbid?
People do that with their animals, though.
Okay, I did. When I was little, I had 3 hamsters. Okay, because I got a hamster, I named it Buddy, died. Got another hamster, named it Buddy, died. Got another hamster, named it Buddy, died. None of them wanted to be my buddy. No, but this is the thing. My mom could not tell me. She did not want to tell me. And it was before she had met my stepdad. It was after my dad had passed away when I was little. So she would call her friend, my Jewish godfather, Jeff, and make him come over and tell me that they died. And we were like, what happened? Like, I think we went to the pet store once, like, what happened? And they were like, oh, wet tail disease, which is what they always called it. And I thought that was just like a syndrome that hamsters died from. I'm at dinner with our friend Chris, Melodrama, in the desert recently. She's like, oh, that's diarrhea. So they were probably just dehydrated or something. I'm like, what?
Really?
Yeah, shook my whole childhood to its core in a matter of
I don't think
an
that's
appetizer.
What did it.
No, yeah, we had a lot of trauma. But...
You also, my favorite story is you had a little toy car that you took your fish out of the tank and put the fish in the toy car.
I did. I had a toy car and I loved it. I loved cars when I was little, and I had a beta fish named Mary Jane that I named after my grandma's best friend. I named the fish after my grandma's best friend. A weirdo. Took it out of its car, or took it out of the tank because I wanted to play. Yeah, so she was driving a Miata, and I was like, "That's not cool." So I took it out of its tank and put it in this little racing car thing that I had, and I guess forgot about it because I was probably 3 or 4 years old. My mom found it under my bed. It had carpet stuck to it because it's the 90s. It had little carpet and stuff on it. Put it back in the tank. Lived.
No.
Lived. I don't know how long it was out there, or if it was like how soon she found it. It must have been pretty quick, but it lived. So the more you know. Tell my goddamn story.
I'm sorry. I know I'm sorry.
In other cultures, the name of someone who has died recently will be given to a baby as a way of honoring the person who's dead. More generally, necronyms may be passed down through multiple generations. In the United States, for example, children may be given the names of their grandparents, sometimes as middle names, which I feel like is pretty common. In Ashkenazi Jewish culture, with necronyms, it's a custom to name a child after a deceased relative as a means of showing respect. However, they do this only with the Hebrew name, I guess. They don't do it with the child's, their English name.
Okay.
And only after that loved one has passed away. Judaism doesn't forbid naming a child after someone who is still living, but it's also seen as taboo, kind of bad to do.
Okay.
This actually came up in my research. You know the advice columnist, Dear Abby? Somebody asked about it, and they said, Dear Abby, what is the protocol for naming a baby after a deceased person? If the name you want to use is a deceased family member's name, do we ask their next of kin for approval? Do we say nothing? Is it assumed that people who wish to use someone's name when naming their child should seek permission? Obviously, some people will use the name regardless of being granted a blessing or not, but I'm wondering what's appropriate in this situation. Signed, pregnant in Illinois. So basically, they're just asking, like, should we ask that person's child or whatever if it's okay if we name them after the deceased person? And Abby wrote, Dear Pregnant, in the Jewish faith, it is traditional for a baby to be named for a deceased parent or grandparent, or at least given a name with the same first initial. However, if the person who died was a child of a close relative, I can see how that could be very painful for the parents who lost their child. The appropriate thing to do would be to first have a conversation with the surviving family members to be sure that it will be considered the honor it's intended to be and not open fresh wounds. If it would cause pain, perhaps the expectant parents should consider making the name of the deceased their baby's middle name instead of first name. Which, yeah, I agree with. I think it's weird when people don't ask.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's like a super common name, but like if it's someone who's important and closely enough related, I'd be like, yeah, just ask.
Yeah.
But going back to the different cultures, in Japan, I guess Buddhist families usually obtain a necronym called a kaimyo for a deceased relative from a Buddhist priest in exchange for a donation to the temple. The deceased were thereafter referred to by the necronym as a sign of pious respect. The name was often the only one inscribed on gravestones in the past, though now it is more common to have the necronym in addition to their given name. And then in Southeast Asia and Oceania, people may not speak the name of a dead person for a set period of time, and they may not be allowed to reference the dead either, except through code words or complicated circumlocutions. Speaking the name of the dead may be viewed as bad luck for a wide variety of reasons in these cultures. And I had to look up what a circumlocution was. And it's the use of many words where fewer would do, especially in a deliberate attempt to be vague or evasive. So they're like, we don't even say the person's name, let alone a necronym. They gave some famous examples in the Wikipedia article for necronyms. Composer Ludwig van Beethoven, born in 1770, had a brother named Ludwig Maria, who was born in 1769, the year before, and lived for only 6 days. So that's one of those occasions where...
Oh, wow. Okay.
Vincent van Gogh had a brother of the same name who was born and died on March 30th of 1852, exactly 1 year before the painter was born.
Wow.
The more you know.
I didn't know that in my research last time.
Yeah. Salvador Dali was born 9 months and 10 days after his brother, also named Salvador, died from gastroenteritis at the age of 1 year and 9 months. And then composer and experimental electronica musician Richard David James, known better as Aphex Twin, claims that he had a stillborn older brother named Richard, after whom he inherited his name.
Oh, wow.
The Aphex Twin moniker is also a tribute to his legacy, though this fact in general might be fabricated. They questioned the authenticity.
Little stage name action.
Someone asked the question on a Reddit group called Name Nerds, which I think is, I don't know, a bunch of nerds discussing names. But they said naming kids after deceased older siblings. They wrote, I met a pretty unusual sib set a few months back and was curious to know what you guys thought of their naming process.
Sounds like a porn category.
Maybe for you.
Never.
Oh, please. Daughter swap. Names here are just examples, not the Sibset's actual names. Anyway, I got to know a kid, 11, whose first and middle name was Matthew Peter. He mentioned he had a deceased older brother who died at around 6 years old, 2 years before he was born. This brother was also named Matthew Peter, so he and his dead brother have the exact same name. However, I also learned that he has an older sister, 13, born a few months after the first Matthew Peter died, and lo and behold, her given name is Hannah Matthew Peter. Then I learned about the youngest brother of the family, 6, and his name is John Matthew Peter. After their mother is currently pregnant and the baby's first name is unknown.
Oh,
what's coming? It depends on the sex when they find out. But I'm sure you know what the middle names will be. Matthew Peter.
Oh,
John likes his name well enough. Hannah is ambivalent, but gets super frustrated when having to explain why she has masculine middle names. The current Matthew Peter hates his name, but says he's conflicted because he feels like his parents love his dead brother more than him. Personally, I found the namings really strange, but I wondered what others might think. I could kind of get on board with it until I learned that every single sibling's name was a direct tribute to the original Matthew Peter. I mean, I understand honoring those who have passed, but at some point it feels like it would put a lot of pressure on the living kids to match up to the deceased one. Plus, their identity is forever hinged on their sibling, and to one another to some extent. Then there's the feeling that their parents haven't actually grieved. Any thoughts?
I think that's a little too deep.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's weird. I think it's weird. But one user wrote, I know a mother who used her deceased child's initials as the initials for her twins that she had years after her oldest passed. For example, John Parker was memorialized as twin set James and Patricia. I thought this was a very lovely way for her children to feel connected to the older sibling they didn't meet, but still giving them some individuality. What you described seemed to be going beyond that and tying those kids' identities to the deceased, which is really sad. Another user wrote, this just doesn't seem healthy. I hope the parents are getting the help they need to deal with their grief. Everyone handles that in different ways, but if the kids are feeling like they're replacements, that likely speaks to a bigger issue than names.
I agree with that.
Yeah. But then, most importantly, a parent who actually suffered child loss chimed in, saying, bereaved parent here. No, 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 no. I'm nauseous at the thought of this, and that's not the pregnancy speaking. I'm only 6 months out from my loss, and I love my twins more than anything in the world, and I miss them so much it's physically painful. This is so awful. All these kids are living in the shadow of a perfect version of their dead sibling. I didn't use any part of my twins' names in the naming process of the daughter I'm currently pregnant with. Hell, I'm even having an early induction date so her birthday happens a week before their birthday instead of on or just after, so she doesn't think her birthday coming makes me sad before she understands why. I'm excited to see the little touches they have left on their little sister, but that's all the legacy they need. If my daughter were to use their names in honor of her siblings, that would be different. Absolutely make your deceased child a part of your surviving child's lives, but not like this. The OG Matthew Peter wouldn't want this for his siblings.
Listen, I think there is a line between commemorating and it being sweet, and then on the other side of that, a full-blown, like, you need to live up to this person's name. And I think it's all in how the parents go about it.
Yeah, I guess it's the conditioning afterwards. I agree with that, because if someone names you after their grandfather, it's like, unless you're one of those families where it's like, you need to live up to our family name. My grandfather built railroad tracks.
Yeah, right. And you're just
a twink.
Yeah. You're at the Abbey all night long.
Who are you named after?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Splash. The movie Splash.
Really?
Yeah.
Love that.
Because I was the 5th child, and my mom let my siblings name me. My mom really liked the name Ivy, and then my brother...
That would have been kind of cool.
And then my brother really loved Joe Montana, so I was going to be Montana. But then the movie Splash was out and was like so popular, and the mermaid was Madison, so...
Here you are.
So I'm just a little mermaid.
Yes.
What about you? Who are you named after?
Spencer Tracy.
Who's that?
Actor from
old
okay.
Hollywood.
We're all named after old Hollywood people. Olivia's Olivia de Havilland. Ella, my little sister, is Ella Fitzgerald. And then my brother was as well. But yeah, I thought it was interesting because I never knew there was an actual term for when you name someone after a deceased person.
I never knew that. That's so interesting.
Necronyms. So
Necronyms. All right. I love that.
if there's any like really weird ones in your family, or if you were named after a deceased relative or sibling or something, let us know. I'd love to hear.
Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to think. I'm like going over the names in my family, but I don't think so.
We'll let you think about it a little more. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. And we're back. What had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Have you guys ever seen those Apple commercials that like show all of the risk takers and rebels that have truly positively affected our world? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I think it's called Think Different. It's like the Apple commercial called Think Different. In it shows all these really important people. There's a narrator behind it that's like, here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the ones who saw things differently. And like, That commercial used to get me fucking pumped.
Oh, oh no, did it?
I'm telling you. Like, I was like, hell yeah. Like, I'm a rebel. I'm going to make a difference.
Oh, meanwhile, you had a mullet. You were snorting meth off a toilet seat.
Yeah, actually, yeah. But then in reality, by the time I was like 15 or 16, I was like, oh, anxiety really set in. And I was like, I'm not taking any fucking risks. And now I'm such a rule follower. And I like to be a rule follower. And some risks are just too big to take.
I would say you're a risk taker a little bit.
Really?
I mean, look, you left your job to do a podcast, and now look at you.
Oh, well, yeah.
Mother Geoff.
Now I'm a mother. But you know, some risks are just...
Do you have a cigar in your mouth?
Yeah, you know what? Some risks are too big to take. I don't want to die.
Yeah.
And you'll see my point exactly. Today, we're going to talk about some rebels, some innovators, some inventors that took risks and were killed by their own inventions.
Oh.
Okay.
It's kind of like, what do you talk about?
I
The
talked
Segway
about-
guy, remember?
Yes, I talked about in Ironic Deaths, the Segway guy. And I guess the whole thing is kind of ironic to be killed by your own invention, but I tried to kind of steer away from that.
So did he, honey, and look how it turned out for him.
He steered right off a cliff, honey.
Jesus Christ, my God, may he rest.
May he rest in peace. Good Lord. All right, so let's start out with someone who is deemed one of the world's worst inventors ever. Thomas Midgley Jr. He was a mechanical engineer and a chemist from America in the early 1900s. He was super accomplished. He had over 100 patents for inventions in his whole lifetime. He seemed to really like to experiment with super dangerous, toxic substances. One of the worst things he probably ever did was when he worked for General Motors. He tried to fix engine knocking in cars. I went on a whole wild ride in research, like looking up mechanics, like YouTube. What's knocking in a car?
It's just the sound.
It's like a thud sound in your engine that happens because there's like an uneven fuel and air mixture.
She's in her mechanic
Yeah.
era.
I have like grease on my...
You're wearing like a fucking coveralls.
Yeah. So he, while working at General Motors, figured out how to fix that. This was in the 1920s. He added tetraethyl lead to the gas in the car and it worked. It stopped the knocking. However, the company was really happy about it, but they marketed it by the name of a woman's name. So they named it ethyl gasoline, which didn't mention anything about lead. Long story short, he is the inventor of leaded gasoline. Now we have unleaded because lead at the time was very much known as a highly toxic substance, but Thomas didn't care. And he was even quoted saying like, we're going to make millions, like we're going to be millionaires. We stopped. Leaded gas was around for almost a century, doing damage to not only the planet, but everyone in it. I mean, we all know about lead poisoning, and we're putting that in our cars. We're breathing it. We're sitting in it. Terrible. Okay, so he's a fucker for that. I think it was finally banned in the 90s. But wait, we are not done. He gets lead poisoning, shocker, takes a leave of absence from work, and then moves to Florida to enjoy the fresh air and try to recover from the lead poisoning. So then in the 30s, he headed a team of chemists who are responsible for the invention of the first chlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs. CFCs are absolutely terrible for our ozone layer. Okay, you know like how they say like aerosol cans are bad because of the gases that come out of them?
Yeah, I've
That's
heard
a
that.
CFC.
Okay.
So he's the inventor of the first ever CFC. That team of chemists that he was heading, they were doing this because they wanted to find a solution for leaky refrigerators. I guess refrigerators would leak sulfur dioxide and methyl formate, which are highly, highly toxic. So they just added something else highly, highly toxic to curb that. So they came up with Freon, which I remember hearing about Freon or Freon 12.
I think it's actually still in like
Really?
old refrigerators.
Yeah, old.
and stuff.
Yeah. That's like when we just had to have our refrigerator at our old house taken away, and they have strict rules like a certain year.
I think it's also like it can be found in like air conditioners and stuff.
Air conditioners too. Yeah. So he did that. So, okay, we've got leaded gas, we've got CFCs. But his final invention is the one that really fucked him. In 1944, he contracted polio. He was paralyzed in some areas and was pretty much bedridden for the rest of his life, but he wasn't going to let that stop him. He ended up inventing this system that was like a pulley and rope system above his bed that would help him get in and out of bed. And this invention really helped his quality of life for a few years until November of 1944 when he got all wrapped up in the ropes and died by strangulation at the age of 55.
God.
Next, we have Henry Winstanley. He was an engineer, an engraver, an architectural engraver, a painter, and a merchant from Essex, England. He was born in 1644. He had a reputation around town of being super into like gadgets and gizmos. He was a little inventor.
Weirdo.
He was even commissioned to build a new clock for a church. From tracerytales.uk, it says, quote, that the clock had hammers which played chimes on 8 bells and spheres representing the sun and the moon which rose and set each day.
Oh, please.
He was very innovative. He and his wife moved into a new home in 1679 in Essex, and it was known as the Essex House of Wonders because it housed all of his inventions in it, and he opened up the home to the public. You could pay to tour it and experience his inventions. There were chairs that when you sat in would close up on you. They were floating like china all over the house.
It's like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
It was, yeah. I tried to find pictures of it online. I couldn't find anything. I just found like different journal entries of people going. And from that same website, they have a journal entry from someone who went, and it says, "One chair, as my cousin sat in it, descended perpendicularly about 10 feet in a dark and dismal place. Another, as he sat in, ran the length of a small orchard and over a moat, jumped in a tree, then descended, and in a very little time stopped." So I think it was like a roller coaster.
Weird.
Yeah. Then Henry had another house that he opened up in London called Waterworks, and that house had some of his inventions that were like water focused, so fountains that served elaborate drinks. And so that's kind of Henry, okay? Henry also liked boats. He invested money into commercial ships, but sadly 2 of them were wrecked and sank on the Eddystone Rocks. Thankfully he was not inside, but the Eddystone Rocks are a large group of rocks that are about 9 miles long and were a big hazard to ships at the time that would go through the English Channel. They sat within the Plymouth city lines. Henry felt that he needed to do something about the havoc that these rocks were wreaking on not only his ships, but everyone's ships. So he decided that he was going to build an offshore lighthouse on the rocks to ensure that this would never happen again. He garnered support from the government, but not much from anyone else. I think people thought he was just nuts for doing it, already judging like his house and all of his little knickknacks. He started construction of this lighthouse, which was the first ever offshore lighthouse ever recorded. This was in 1696. In 1697, France and Britain were at war, and one day the French sailed by where they were building the lighthouse, destroyed all their work, and captured Henry.
Why?
Because they're like, "You're British. We're fucking taking you back to France."
I forgot the war part.
Yeah. They took him back to France and like arrested him. King Louis XIV was like pissed. He's like, "What the fuck, you guys? Like, why did you go do?" He's just building a lighthouse. Yes, we're at war with Britain, but we're not at war with humanity. So we let him go. He offered him jewels. He offered him an architecture job. Now back to the lighthouse.
The luckiest prisoner of war.
I know, God. That annoyance out of the way, he got back to work and finished the lighthouse in 1698, which is named the Eddystone Lighthouse. I'll post pictures of this lighthouse because it was absolutely fucking beautiful. No accidents occurred because of that lighthouse for the first 5 years, so no boats were getting wrecked.
Oh, good.
By the time 1703 came around, the lighthouse had survived a bunch of winters and like a bunch of storms and whatever, and Henry was like, this lighthouse, if there's ever the biggest storm of the century, like I want to be in this lighthouse. It's that safe. So they knew that a storm was coming. And so he went to the lighthouse to do some last minute like structural things just to make sure it was good. That storm actually ended up being what is called the Great Storm of 1703. It was terrible, and it washed away the lighthouse and everyone in it, which included him.
Wow.
So he was killed by his invention.
Jeez. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a lighthouse in person.
Really?
Have I? Oh, yeah, no, I've seen that one.
Yeah. But speaking of ships, have you ever heard of the Titanic? No?
No.
Oh my God, she was beautiful.
Was she big?
She was big, honey.
Oh, yeah, she had a lot going on?
Yeah, she was unsinkable.
The unsinkable ship.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the RMS group.
Yep. Well, we have Thomas Andrews Jr., who was the naval architect and chief designer of the Titanic.
We all know how that went.
When designing the boat, he got everything that he wanted, except allegedly he wanted to double the number of available lifeboats. And I believe they had like between 20 and 30 lifeboats, and he wanted to double those. And he was overruled. Another important thing that he was overruled on was that he wanted a double hull, like some of the other big boats at the time had. I went on a whole deep, I'm like, what the fuck's a double hull? Like, I don't know about ships. From Wikipedia, a double hull is a ship hull design and construction method where the bottom and sides of the ship have two complete layers of watertight hull surface, one outer layer forming the normal hull of the ship, and a second inner hull, which is some distance inboard, typically by a few feet, which forms a redundant barrier to seawater in case the outer hull is damaged and leaks. So that double hull maybe could have saved the Titanic. And he was on the Titanic when it sank. And as the ship sank that night, he helped everyone put on their safety vests and even calculated how long it would take for the ship to sink. He is depicted in the movie The Titanic, and he is the one who gives Rose his life jacket, and he just goes down with the ship.
Jeez.
He's the head of it. Next, we have Francis Edgar Stanley, and this story kind of reminds me of the Segway guy. So Francis Edgar Stanley is
spoiler alert,
part of the Stanley Steamer fame.
Stanley Steamers is your home cleaner.
Francis and his twin brother founded the Stanley Motor Carriage Company. They invented and produced steam cars in the early 1900s. They specifically designed a Stanley steamer called the Rocket because it reached speeds of almost 130 miles an hour. When I first read that, I kept going back to it. I'm like, 13 miles an hour. Like, whoa, they thought that was fast, but it was 130. Well, in 1918, Francis was driving his Stanley steamer and drove it right into a wood pile and died. He was trying to avoid traffic from farm wagons.
Jeez.
I know.
You always stay on the road. That's what I say.
I know. Now, this last one is what I read about it and I wanted to talk about it. And so this is like the one that made me research all the other inventors.
The catalyst.
The catalyst. We have Franz Reichelt. He was a tailor, originally from Austria, but living in France. In the early 1900s, many things were being invented, especially aircraft stuff and aviation stuff. So he noticed that there were many crashes happening, and he was determined to help. He created something he called a parachute suit that was supposed to be something pilots and aviators could wear that wasn't too heavy or bulky, but could help.
Yes, for when you sleekly want to jump out of a plane.
Yes, exactly. He tested prototypes out for a while using dummies. His first one had these like silk wings that folded on them, and he would dress the dummy in it and then drop it 5 stories out of his apartment. And they would most of the time land safely on the street. I was thinking, like, could you imagine, like, your crazy neighbor?
There it goes again.
Yeah, the inventor. Then, when he tried the dummies with the full parachute suit that he designed, it seemed that those were not successful. And the parachute suit, it almost looked like a black cloak, kind of like baggy. I'll post a picture of it. But you could wear it around, you know, like as your regular clothes. He spoke with the Aero Club de France. They were a league of people that really emphasized aviation and that kind of stuff.
They emphasized it.
They emphasized it.
They loved it.
They loved it. And he went to them and was like, look at my design. Like, you guys need to back me on this. And they were like, no, these designs aren't good and they aren't safe. But he was still so invested, so he didn't listen. All Things Interesting does a really great write-up of this fucking story. So I'm going to read. It's crazy, Spencer. It says, though functional fixed canopy parachutes are already existed and a parachute had already been invented that worked for high altitudes, no parachute existed for people leaping from planes or at low altitudes. My new invention is like nothing else. It's constructed basically half in waterproof fabric and half in silk, thanks to a system of rods and belts that one can control. The parachute deploys during a fall and will save a pilot's life. Then, that same Aero Club de France was offering prize money to people who could create safety parachutes. And so Franz was like so determined, right?
He's like, I got this.
I got to do this. On February 4th, 1912, after a year of getting police to even let him do this, the day was finally here. He was going to test his parachute suit on the Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower?
Yes. It's important to note that I think that the French police were thinking that a dummy would be conducting the experiment. Obviously, you'd think that. But it was Franz himself who wanted to show how his suit would work. He climbed to the top of the Eiffel Tower, jumped off, and put his arms out like a cross because that would activate the suit and the parachute.
Oh.
Well, the parachute just kind of collapsed around him and he didn't have anything helping him.
Fuck.
He hit the ground, died, but he had a heart attack right before he hit the ground. So
thank God for him.
I know. So we think it was the heart attack that killed him. From that same All Things Interesting article, it says, in a pitiful wreck, he lay on the icy grass. He fell almost standing. Blood trickled through his mouth, nose, and ears. His right arm and leg were crushed. His skull and back were broken. Death was instant. His fall had left a 6-inch hole in the ground.
Oh, shit.
We'll post the picture of him falling. It's old, black and white.
Okay.
It just looks like a black dot. It's wild.
I want to see it. Horrible.
Horrible.
Wow, those are wild.
Wild. So,
yeah, inventors are always a little wacky.
Uh-huh. So, you know what? Maybe don't take that risk.
Yeah. Maybe don't risk it, okay?
Life's too precious.
Oh, please. Name one precious thing about this life? No, you know what? It's so... I don't know if I've told you this. Olivia and I and our mom, again, during that brief period after my dad, but before my stepdad, it was the three of us living at this house, and next door to us was this weird inventor. Have I told you about this?
No.
Yes. Very strange guy. All kinds of contraptions around his house. We called him the inventor. He had a double-decker London bus in his backyard. He had all of the knobs, I remember, because I'll never fucking forget, in his house were alligator hands.
Alligators have hands?
Yeah. I mean, yes, of course they do. How else do they walk around? What do you mean, you alligator? You just gaslit me for a second. I'm sitting here like, oh, wait, was it not alligator hands? And I'm like, no, it was.
Don't they have arms?
With what on the end of them, Madison?
Talons?
No.
Nails?
I can't. Or maybe it's crocodile? I don't know. One of those two.
I don't...
Well, they do.
Okay, I love that. I get it.
Nope. Gonna prove myself. No, fully. They look like yours.
That's an alligator mouth.
So look to the left.
No, that is not
Yes.
an alligator. That's a gorilla's hand.
Baby.
They have disposable thumbs
No,
or whatever?
I think it was it was alligator. That was a crocodile that I just showed you. Those are alligator. He had those hands as like knobs in his house.
God.
Anyways, weird fucking dude. One time he had a crush on my mom. So one time he sent over a plate of deer meat.
No.
That was like raw, just deer meat on a plate. And she's like, I don't know what to do with that.
Did she eat meat?
Yeah, but not fucking
Not
weirdo deer meat from the inventor next door.
It's like fucking Dahmer.
We called him the inventor.
It's like, I made you a sandwich.
God. So anyways, thank you for that.
Oh, that was the story.
Yeah, we had a weird inventor who, what kind of more do you want from a story? He had a double-decker fucking bus and he had alligator hands as the goddamn handles and sent my mom a weird plate of meat.
Did you see any
he's
of his
the inventor.
inventions?
No, he was
Okay.
probably fucking, I mean, I think he had money, so maybe he invented something good.
Yeah, that's great.
Good for him. Wonder what he's up to.
Maybe he's the London double-decker bus inventor.
Yeah, when I had my childhood in London.
And Essex.
Or as you said initially, Exis. Okay, we have to move on. Next segment. Next. I want a button that. Next. Beep, beep. It's time for some obituaries.
Let's do it.
I love my obituary this week, and it's so fucking good. Do you remember this picture of this sugar baby and her sugar daddy?
No.
Okay, this woman immortalized her sugar daddy by writing an obituary as an Instagram caption with a picture of him.
Okay, let's hear it.
It says, exactly 1 year ago, my sugar daddy Brad passed away. He was 47 and died because of a heart attack and untreated diabetes. We had an incredibly toxic relationship, and ultimately, I wish I never met him. As horrible...
God.
As horrible as he was, I'm sitting here trying to dig up a good memory to remember him on this day.
She's petty.
So here it is. Brad, you bought me my first pair of Louboutins, my first Birkin, and my first and only racehorse. You understood the value of my time, and for that, I honor you with my time today by making this post for you. I still don't forgive you for taking me out of the will after you attacked me while you were on Whippets. However, you knew I would always be okay. And yes, I've been living a double life this whole time with the guy you thought was my gay bodyguard. And I'm also an author and serial entrepreneur. So let's call it even. I will finally visit you one of these days. Rest in peace. P.S. Please don't haunt me again. Samantha.
That's the best obituary I've ever heard in my life.
I want it tattooed on my back. It's so funny because pre-obituary, like a couple years ago, I saw this post.
Really?
It was making the rounds, but it recently started making the rounds again, and I was like, I'm fucking hopping on this because I forgot about that. That was the best shit ever.
God, I love that.
I probably texted you this like years
Probably.
ago or something. This seems like one we would have sent each other back in the day.
The writing was stunning.
Oh, beautiful.
Just so good.
Love it.
Wow.
I love the Whippets line.
The Whippets.
Oh, God. What do you got for us? Similar?
No.
What you got?
Alrighty. I have Martin Manley, 60, died August 15th, 2013. He is survived by his sister Barbie Flick of Maple Hill and his brother Michael Manley of El Paso. He is also survived by his ex-wives, both of whom he remained close, Chris Tillman of Auburn and Terry Hansen of Overland Park, and stepdaughters Marissa and Jamie Welsh, whom he loved dearly. Services will be private.
Okay.
Okay, well, a Geoff sent me his blog. The Geoff is Charlia? I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but she sent me his blog. Now, Martin Manley died by suicide, and it kind of reminded me of Death with Dignity a little bit. It's wild. The website is martin-manley.eprci.com. He has a full blog, everything you could imagine. Pictures, his religion, his views on heaven, his parents, his whole life on this blog.
Like an autobiography.
Yes. And so the main homepage, he writes kind of an obituary for himself. So it says, today is August 15th, 2013. Today is my 60th birthday. Today is the last day of my life. Today, I committed suicide. Today is the first day this site is active, but it will be here for years to come. Before I get into the nuts and bolts of this site, I first must say to those whom I have a special bond with, please don't think that I didn't consider your feelings. I'm sorry, very sorry for the hurt and pain I will have caused by my actions. In all probability, I won't be able to justify it to you, at least not today. Maybe someday you will come to understand better. If not, maybe someday you will be able to read what I've said and learn why. Maybe someday you will be able to forgive me. I love you. This site is divided into two major categories. The first is suicide. The second is my life. To the left side of this page, you will see categories. Under some of them are subcategories. You can click and read anything you want. My life is an open book now that I've closed the book on my life. It's important for me to have written quite a bit about my decision because it's rarely been done. I assume the people I know would want to understand it better, and I'm sure there are people out there who study suicide that would like to study mine, so I've left nothing to the imagination. It's all here. I debated the idea of having the death categories at the top above the life categories or at the bottom of the left side of the page. After all, chronologically, we live and then we die. But which is more important, the life or the death? I couldn't decide that one was more important than the other at this moment in time, and so I put the suicide categories on top because it's the headline, the 11 o'clock news lead. Besides, the suicide categories will reveal some things that nobody knows about me, while the life categories have stuff in them that at least some people know. Then he goes on and talks about his decision, why he did it. So he was a sports writer for years. He said, I discovered that I was often writing in the present tense as well as the past tense, so I decided I would write in the past tense for the death categories, except for the next two categories, but present tense for the life categories. At least that will be the norm. Lastly, at some point in reading the site, you would have asked whether I was ultimately satisfied with my life, so I decided this was the best place to address it. I suspect nobody is completely satisfied, and I'm no different. No, I wasn't fully satisfied with my life, but I was fully satisfied with my death. And then he even says, in case this is any help to anyone, he has a coping with suicide part in the blog. But when I read it, I was shocked.
Yeah.
And in no means does obituary, do we condone this, obviously.
No.
And even his sister, I guess Yahoo took the site down, and his sister fought to get it put back on because it kind of is his whole life. It's his obituary, basically.
Yeah.
Just in a different form. Very interesting. Kind of shocked me.
Wow.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
So there you go.
I mean, it's wild. It's almost very cinematic to me.
I know. And I was looking, I was like, well, was there a terminal illness? Was there depression? Was it what was there? And I couldn't find it. I'm sure it'll be in there if I really go through every tab, but
it's the next page.
No, I Googled it, honey. I looked up all of it.
We both brought different vibes to the table today.
Very different vibes.
Interesting, though.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the start of a movie, the blog is the start of a movie.
I know.
Right? Netflix, we got another one.
Hey, yeah.
You haven't called us about the first 23 of them, but we've got another idea. We're pitching it. Oh, God.
So rest in peace to Martin Manley. And there's been a bunch of articles about his death from other sports writers and just writers and contributors to newspapers. A lot of them are mad and upset that he chose to do it.
Wild.
Yeah.
Well, we've spun in our coffins.
We've bitched our obituaries.
I guess that means it's time for some
dumb.ass.criminallllllllls.
After dark. Loved that.
Okay.
I don't know why I wanted to say it. I just wanted to say that, so we're leaving it. I got a Florida man this week, Madison.
Oh, so do I.
And it's a recent story from December 1st.
Oh, okay.
And this is from foxnews.com. It says, a 53-year-old driver had rear-ended another vehicle on Monday before plowing into the Phantom Fireworks shop in West Melbourne.
Okay. I hope he didn't have leaded gas.
Well, he ignited some rockets and touched off a series of explosions, Florida Today reported. It was wild. I could not believe how close people were to it as the fireworks were still blowing up, Palm Bay resident Richard Griffin told the newspaper. The mortars and stuff like that, those things can go to 100 yards or more when you shoot them straight into the air. I would love to be a fucking reporter on a scene like this.
So a firework shop, he drove into it and fireworks just went off.
Started fucking blowing up, and luckily we have the whole thing on video.
No.
Yes.
Huge explosion. Oh God. Oh my God. That's a finale.
Talk about a grand finale, honey. Oh, shit.
Wow.
So
Is he okay?
No.
No?
No, I didn't realize until just now that he died in a different article. So rest in peace to him.
Rest in peace.
Please don't crash into any buildings. And if you're going to do it, maybe a firework building. Really set things off.
He's not the dumbass. The fireworks are for going off.
Yeah.
The wrong time.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
What you got?
Oh, I have another Florida man. This dumb criminal actually committed a crime before he committed the crime I'm going to talk about. So he was in jail already. And I think that's the dumbest. Like, you're already locked up and you just can't quite quit the dumbassery.
You can't cool it.
You can't cool it. The criminal in question is Christopher Callan, a 33-year-old Florida resident. He originally was in jail for, I believe, sexual offender crimes. That's all I could find on him. Yeah. But I'm going to read you the arrest report. On November 4th, 2021, at 21:09 hours while on duty in Monroe County, I responded to the Key West jail for a battery against an inmate. When I arrived, I met with the suspect, identified as Chris Callan, and asked him about what had occurred post-Miranda. So I guess they can still arrest you in prison and read you your Miranda rights.
Yeah.
Interesting. Chris made several nonsensical statements that did not correlate with the incident. Chris only made 3 statements of relevance. Chris stated that his cellmate, identified as Amado Dominguez, farts too much, stinking up the cell, that Amado fails to give a courtesy flush, and that he speaks weird languages. This was all the information I was able to gain.
God.
So,
problematic.
He beat him up, he broke his rib and knocked 2 of his teeth out.
Fuck.
Because he farted too much. And needless to say, they are no longer cellmates.
God, I would hope so. He belongs in solitary confinement.
Oh
my
God.
Oh my God, we can finally open P.O. Box stuff.
Yes! You want to go first? Grab something.
This one is...
Okay, so that was actually for me. And it says... Dear Madison, I am a huge fan and I am stoked to be one of thousands sending you a keychain for your new golden girly. What a cute.
Sweet.
I also think mine is the best. Insert laugh crying emoji. So use it, you dumb bitch. I love it. Love Kitty P from Fruitland, Idaho.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. Okay, you are so cute. She wrote, okay, it's one of those cool, old motel keychains.
Uh-huh.
But it says, Que sera, sera.
Oh, the Doris Day. Cute.
No way. That is so cool, Kitty. Oh, that gave me the chills, and I'm putting it on my keychain right now. Thank you so much. I'm going to send a picture to my husband right now. He's going to love it.
Okay, bitch, get ready for this.
Okay.
Dear you dumb bitch with a microphone and hot dog, super fan here. You and Madison make me laugh weekly, and damn, I wish we were friends. In the meantime, here's the best keychain for your new truck. Yes, I'll be your girlfriend anytime. XOXO Kitty P from
Kitty!
Oh my God, Kitty! You didn't forget me, Kitty.
He was mad.
I was mad. I was like, what the fuck? And it says meet me in Palm Springs.
How cute.
God, I wish I would have opened it before Thanksgiving if Madison didn't get exposed to COVID.
I know.
These are adorable. Thank you.
These are incredible.
I love a keychain. This is so cute. Scout, and it's from Scout and Craft LA is the Instagram at Scout and Craft LA.
And then I think mine says the Posh Laboratory. How? You guys are the fucking best. I wish we could send you guys
It's like a early Christmas
Let me
present. This
see.
is so cute.
That is so cute.
We ask for things jokingly also. Please never feel obligated to send us
No,
anything.
yeah.
But I do love that we got keychains.
And the handwritten, just the best.
Yeah, if any of you have a 6-foot handsome man, you could send them to our P.O. box. Oh my God. Well, we got to go put our keychains on our keys and get the hell out of here.
I know. Oh, Kitty, you made our day.
You did. You made our day, Kitty. Cutie Kitty. If you want to send us stuff, you can send it to P.O. Box 18149, Long Beach, California, 90807.
You can follow along at Obituary Pod on Twitter and Instagram.
And Obituary Podcast on TikTok. And you can also write to us, obitpod@gmail.com. But that is it for this week.
Wait, you can get a cameo.
Oh, yeah. If they're on.
They're on.
They're on. But that's it for this week. We'll see you next week with some more Coffin Spinners.
Obituaries.
And dumb. Women. No. Goodbye.